Good morning, good morning. How are we all doing? Welcome again to some of you. Excuse me. It's very strange. Half of the names that were in the live before are still in the live now. That's a bit weird. So anyway, I'm just going to give it a minute or so and wait for a few people to arrive. And today we are going to be studying. How you doing, Crystal? Gramps is back. I've just had a little bit of a coughing fit just now. The old granddad cough kicked in there. So we're just going to give it a couple of minutes before we start. And just to let you guys know, this is being recorded. So if you join me a little bit late, you can watch it again on YouTube. And you can get alerts as to when I go live on my Discord, and they are all called Artwalker. So thank you to all that have joined me. Excuse me. I'm breathing. Oh, okay. You tell me. You keep going with your bread. So now I'm going to talk to you about how I draw the mouth. Excuse me. Excuse me. I've got a dry throat. So as you can see here, I've got a couple of examples of mouths that I drew just as practice. So I like to practice with different positions, the mouth open and close and so on. I don't have an example of every type of mouth, but you can see they are quite varied. And the reason I do these is to try and understand the mechanics of how a mouth works, which is something that it can be quite tricky because it does have, excuse me, I have a really tickly throat at the moment. That is so annoying. Just a moment, sorry about that. I have to grab a sweet because I can't actually speak at the moment. It's a bit weird. So, excuse me, sorry about that. I'm getting all upset, mate. I'm getting all upset. I'm getting teared up. So what I try to, when I draw these mouths, I'm going to give you an idea as to how I break it all down. So if you establish this line here, right, it doesn't have to be fully straight. I go for a little hand. Well, this is what happens when you join my live streams. I'm never drawing the same thing twice. Hardly ever. You know? So this is what you have to get used to when you join my live streams. And the tutorials, the one I did before was totally different. It was this young lady. Well, it wasn't a tutorial, but I was drawing this young lady before. This will help you if you're drawing male or female. So, first thing I would suggest is work out where the center of the mouth is. Yeah? This is something very, very key to understanding. Because if you draw the human head, this is probably not the best example. Yeah, but this might help. So say, for example, you have to think about where you want to place that mouth, right? So if we've got the human head here, we've got this center line here. This center line tells us where the mouth belongs. This line here, for the dome of the skull, tells us roughly where the nose belongs, right? So bear that in mind. These lines are there to help you. So pay attention to these lines because this line here is this line here. Is everyone clear as to that and what that means? I'm just going to wait a moment to see if everyone's getting that. Dania and, I don't know, Gian. Is that a Jamaican flag I see there? Gian. Is everyone clear as to that? You have to interact with me, because then I might as well pretend that I could just draw this on my own and not say anything. So when you join my lives, you have to sort of give me a yes or a no. If not, it's no point, because then I will just keep going too fast, and then everyone will say that was really rubbish because I didn't understand anything because he was going too fast. No? Thank you. The forward. Thank you. And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. So, here, as I said, the center line, we have to establish where it is. So we're going to establish the center line again here. But now we're going to bend it. Is that clear to everyone? Again, center line here. We're bending it again. See? So when you start to understand these center lines, it really, really helps you understand how lips curve. Like now, I've added a little bit of a curve to it. This is what we're going to do here again. We're curving it slightly. Now I've added a bit of a wave to it. Then you start to understand the motion that we have with regards to our lips. So thank you for the two that are following. That is very, very nice of you. Does anyone have any questions up until this point? Mayaka, Cody, nice to see you again. Zantan, how you doing? Thank you for the follow. Anyone getting this? Or anyone not getting this? And if you're not, let me know. Thank you, 2001. Excuse me, 2100. How dare I change the digits there? Right. The perspective of the head. Well, obviously they have to align to the head. You have to align that to the contour of the head. See, so the human head here would be curving in this direction. So depending on how flat the face is, yes, it would follow the curve of the head. Or then it would just look strange. It would just be a mouth on a square, and it would look really odd because the mouth does bend. You have to imagine that the mouth on the human head, it bends. So if the head is this shape or at this angle, it curves around the head. It's not straight, slightly bent. Maybe not as extreme as this, but you can see what I mean. You're always streaming late. What time is it? It's early in the morning for me. I'm only sticking to the. I'm not doing the actual tongue. I'm just gonna. We haven't even started with the mouth yet. Zantan. We haven't even started with the mouth yet. 8 a.m. Yeah, man, you gotta be up. You gotta be on it. Life waits for no man or woman. So if you sit around, opportunities will pass you by. I can tell you that 100%. And then after this I go to work, and I teach. I'll teach people how to draw. Yeah. Time waits for no man. Welcome, OVM member official. So let's get back into this. Right. There are a few ways that you can interpret the shape of the mouth, but establish this cross first, right? So if I turn this over, and I've just said to you, establish this cross. So if I draw a cross here, like so, I'm going to slightly curve it. This pen's not working. Excuse me. So I'm going to slightly curve it. I've told you to establish this cross. So that tells you exactly where the middle of the mouth is. I like to say to people, and I've seen this done a few times, where you can add a heart shape, or you can, let's say add a heart shape here, because that's probably easier for people to remember. So you add a heart shape here, and then all of a sudden we have this bow here, this Cupid's bow here. See that? That's what we're aiming for, right? We've got the same bow here. That's the goal, right? And I tell people all the time that if I'm drawing mouths, I usually add like a U shape here, and then I follow this line upwards and then meet it here. Go upwards and meet it again here. And then I go back to my straight line, so to say, here. I bend it again here, close it up here, bend it again here, close it up here. The lower part, the lower lip, I like to see it as a very, very soft W. What do I mean? So if I write a W like this might even be a little bit too hard. And then I round it off like so. That's basically what I'm doing here. See that little dip here? Just slight. You don't have to do that. You can just make it like a really wide U shape or a very soft W shape. But I usually add this little dip here, here, because this is where the lip slightly folds here. And I find that makes it a little bit more realistic, as opposed to a simple elliptical shape or U shape. No, you haven't missed a lot, but you're a little bit late, that's for sure. How you doing, Samuel? Nice to see you. So, here, what I discussed before was, Manny, you have to think about the head. So when you're practicing heads, try not to avoid drawing the lips. Just try to get into the habit of drawing the lips straight away on the head. So we've got this line here, the center line of the head. We're drawing the head, and we're always adding this center line, obviously to position the eyes, nose, and mouth, right? Again here with center line, again here center line. So this center line here, whoops, not that one, is the same line as here. Do you see that? That's the same line as here. So what you have to do is remember to establish the center line. This one is a little bit off, I can see it already. Center line here. My U shape should be here, tighter. I've made it a little bit wider, but that helps you orientate yourself. Sometimes you get it right, sometimes this one's better, this one's not as good. But as a whole, they're not too bad for quick sketches. And these ones, I think they're pretty much spot on. You see what I'm saying? So start with, as I said, start with the shape of the mouth, right? So if I want the mouth, as I said, sometimes people draw this line very straight, but I like to just dip it at the corner here. Just a little dip. Center line. So equal distance between here, here, and here. Doesn't have to be, but it does help. So we got equal distance, slight bend, right? I'm going to show you another way. You can actually arc it up to this point and then arc it not from the same point, slightly inwards, like so. And then what we do is we add our soft U shape here. And then we add another soft U shape here. And then we can add a very, very slight curve here. And then you have another variation on how to draw a mouth. How you doing, Caldwell? How you doing? I was in your live today, this morning, while I was drinking my coffee. You guys are chatting away, talking about, I don't know, some live stream guy or something. I don't know. So that's the goal, right? So this is another way you can work it, where you actually establish the shape of the mouth first, as I'm going to go into a little bit more detail later on, because it gets slightly more complicated when the mouth is open. But when I started to look at drawing mouths, as I'll explain to you in a minute, I was looking more at the shape within here, then putting the mouth around it. Does that make sense? That's a shame, Art Byron. I think you're in Australia, aren't you? Yeah, good. Does anyone have any questions? You loved. Ah, that's nice. Thank you. I can't read your name. I can't read your name. But if I was you, I would just practice that. Practice simply drawing. Whoops. Simply drawing a slightly bent, slightly curved line, center line. I showed you two different ways you can do it, right? You can actually do it a third way. Circle, circle. Then we add our U shape. We bend. We bend. Slightly larger. Slightly larger. We bend. And we close up. Look at that. 3 for the price of 1. Drop the pen. Well, it depends. Well, it depends how accurate you want to draw your lips. Like, say, for example, for me, this is variation 1, V2, and V3. That's just 3 ways that you can draw lips. You have to find which one works for you. Thank you, OVM. This is what I'm saying, mate. I didn't go to art college either. Please add me. Huh? Add you to where? You see what I'm saying? So these are 3 variations on drawing the same thing. Whichever one works for you, use it. And send my check in the post. Okay, I can help you with that. No. I'm not adding anyone to the live at the moment. Sorry. If we have to have a bit more of a online relationship before, and we need to talk in beforehand if I'm going to add someone. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to get onto grimacing yet, because yeah, maybe We'll see. I don't think we're finished here yet. I don't like to jump during the lives. I like to make sure everyone's on the right level. You draw with a pen. Good. Maybe another time, not at this precise moment. Well, that depends. I use hatch. Here I've got single hatch. So if you're drawing lips, we're going to stick to the theme lips. So let me tidy this one up a little bit. When you're looking at the lips now, we're jumping a little bit ahead of ourselves, to be honest. However, I'm going to touch on it very quickly. I just use simple line hatching. That's something you can practice different angles and so on. You can actually combine the two where you go cross hatch, where you actually add different hatch techniques. Just find the one that works for you. I find sometimes when I cross hatch things, it gets a little bit too messy. And obviously we haven't touched on it yet, but we're going to touch on it in a minute. You should only hatch the area where the folds are. So if I'm adding the folds in the lips like so, these are the areas that I choose to hatch, because you don't hatch everywhere. You see that? Is everyone getting that? Yes, Generation X. And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. And if you really like what you see, buy me a car, preferably a Bentley. No, I'm joking. If you like what you see, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's what I would ask you to do. So I'm going to do V1, V2, and V3 again, right? So what you do is, yeah, I'm just checking to see if everyone's awake. See this one here. Let's do V1 again, right? So nobody's mouth is ever straight, right? But it doesn't really matter. What you have to do, if you're struggling with getting the left side and the right side right, you're going to have to draw this maybe 100 times. You have to calculate every stroke that you make. So here, I'm looking from here to the middle to here. So I know middle line is here. So that's the midpoint of the mouth, right? So V1, as I said, some people like to draw a heart shape here, right in the middle. So now you're looking at symmetry. You have to make everything symmetrical, right? Then you curve downwards, but you curve downwards and you meet the bottom lip, but he slightly flattens along here. So we curve downwards and it flattens. We curve downwards here and it flattens. You don't meet it like this. No, it curves downwards slightly. Then here, as I said before, this is almost like a soft, very soft W, very, very soft. So here's like let's say the arc of the W, which is not really the right term. Then we curve it upwards like so. But as you can see, it looks like, whoops. Excuse me, not very symmetrical. It looks like a very soft W. You see what I'm saying? And then here, we're going to do the same again. Center. Corners should be roughly on the same level. So this is one corner Let's put that right in the center. And then you can go U shape, connecting down, not directly to this point here, slightly before, like so. Like so. However, this would be the actual corner here and here. And then we're going U shape again. We're not going directly to the corner. We're curving down and round. Curving down and round. Then here. Again, it looks like, as I say, it's a very, very, very soft W. It's this slight curve here connects to here. And then you've got the shapes of the mouth. Well, the mouth is very difficult to draw. And I don't know how far we're going to get with this, because I wanted to actually draw some variations on how we open the mouth. Let me just finish this off very quickly. Center point here. Center line here. And you know what? I've just thought of something. I've just actually thought of something. Someone said they're struggling with symmetry. I've just thought of something. And now I am actually quite excited about it. I've never thought of it like that before. Hold on. Who said to me that they're struggling with symmetry on the mouth? No, I don't use any grids. Who said to me, who is struggling with the symmetry of a mouth? That is pretty, it's blowing my mind. Just let me go to the toilet very quickly. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry about that. What's the time now? I've got to hurry now. So yes. So what I'm going to say is, right, look at this. I'm going to show you variation 3 now, and then I'm going to show you the My World exclusive, because I've just stumbled across something. Whoops, I'm just throwing my pen in my own face. So look at this. Whoops, wrong pen. Whoops, I'm knocking everything all over the place. Center line. Like I said here, circle, circle, right? This helps us create that dip here. The Cupid's bow, so to say. Obviously, the lip here drops a little bit under here. Now we add a larger circle here and a larger circle here. This helps us establish this slight dip here, and then we come round and connect it to the lower part of the mouth here. This comes straight down, and then we have variation 3. And then obviously we're going to add a little bit more detail to it. And these are strictly guidelines, right? But look at how I can take this to the next level. And we've got a pretty cool looking, I find this pretty cool looking mouth. I do this nearly every day around this time. I do this every day. So if you like what you see, please hit the like button, follow, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because you will find this actually on my YouTube channel very soon. I will upload this to my YouTube channel, and hopefully you can learn a lot, or we can learn a lot from each other. Has anyone got any questions? And then I've got a world exclusive actually. I have really got a world exclusive, because I've just stumbled across something, and I'm just going through it in my mind to see if it works. I'm just going to let you guys and girls ask a couple of questions, and then we can take this to the next level. Very thin lips. Well, very thin lips, you just reduce everything to the max. It's as simple as that. You don't have to reinvent it. If you've got very thin lips, the principle is exactly the same. As opposed to having this really pronounced bow here, you just drop it. That's it. And then you have very thin lips. But the principle is the same. Because even people with thin lips have the same curves, or very slight curves, as opposed to people like myself. I have quite a pronounced bow and so on. Thank you, Peach. Thank you for checking it out. And I hope you are subscribing. Arsenal, you're late. That is not like the Gunners, mate. You don't turn up late to one of your Gunners live streams. That is not good. Don't worry, it's not finished yet. How long we got? We got another 15 minutes at least. So, is everyone getting that up until this point? Yeah, you'll catch it on YouTube. You'll catch it on YouTube. So thank you very, very much for the kind hearts and gifts, the roses and so on. Much appreciated. As you know, I do this for free to help people out that can't afford to go to art college. And I do it with a good heart. That's 100% my philosophy. So if you can support me by subscribing to my YouTube channel, that would help me greatly. So, is everyone getting this green stage? Let's call it the green stage. Is everyone getting that? Everyone getting that? Honest. Cheers, Pete, mate. That's what I like to hear. So just hit the share, the like button. I hate to keep pushing it, but I have to, because we're in a world where I need to generate as much interest as possible, and things can happen for me that way. So simply do me that favor. Oh, the sun's coming up. Good. And thank you for the follows. I can see I don't know if it's some sort of Russian script. Pretty cool. Good. So now we're going to go a little bit further. Seeing as nobody's complaining about not knowing anything, I'm going to go a little bit further. One of the problems that I found when I was drawing mouths, or when I practiced to draw mouths, was where does everything belong? How do we open this mouth? Right. So, great work. Thank you, Sifu. So what you need to think about is, or what I decided to think about was, what does this opening look like? You see what I'm saying? So look at this. This is not, it's almost 3/4, almost, but let's not jump ahead of ourselves. So like, when you look at a mouth, look at the shape here. Don't look at the mouth. Then you look at this line. This is what I found helped me. What did I say? Sifu. Oh, Sifi. So sorry. I just make it up as I go along. Do you know what I mean? I don't need to get your names right. I just call you whatever. No, because when you're in the live, sometimes it scrolls quickly, and you just like, okay, I think you make it up as you go along. That is the truth. Unfortunately, I apologize, Sifu. So anyway, let's get back to it. So the pink here, we establish this shape here. Is everyone getting that? Yeah, this is what I say to people. I'm not good at explaining things. I'm just kind of good at working things out. And I just sit there and I go, oh, but why can't I get that curve right? Why can't... And then what I do is I try to simplify it. So now my test is to you, right? My test is to you. Grab a pen or pencil, whatever. Draw a random shape like that. Yeah? So I should have used this because I'm trying to keep to our method, color method, right? So this, now everybody knows what that is, right? Primitives are key. Well, there you go. So much easier. So there, everyone is aware of what that is. Everyone is aware of what that is, right? So let's keep going. Let me get the right pen. So now, all I have to do is establish what. In fact, I'm going to throw it to you guys. What do I need to now establish? And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. If you're not following and you are enjoying the live stream, you should actually follow. It's only polite. Because I am actually trying to encourage everyone to draw. And if you want to keep me happy, then I think you should encourage me as well. It's a give and take. The center line. Or you could actually say the crosshairs. Because look, depending on where you want this mouth to be looking. In fact, wait. You guys have got my juices flowing. Look, I'm going to do one here. And I'm going to do another one here. Another one here. Do the same, please. Everyone do that. Everyone do something ovals. Simple ovals like that. I think we're all getting it. So, let's go back again. As you guys said, rightfully so, center lines, right? So let's say that they're more like a crosshair. How you doing, Kim? They're more like a crosshair, right? What do I mean by that? It's like that. A crosshair. Pink establishes the shape of the opening of the mouth. I should have done some variables here. If I draw my crosshair here, I think you all understand where that mouth is. If I draw my crosshair here, do you see what I'm saying? And now if I'm going to experiment here. I don't know if this is going to work. That's probably a little bit similar to this one. And then I'm going to leave it at that, right? Because I don't want to crash on stage. So now I can look at that. I'm now bearing this in mind. Are you paying someone for this? Oh my, are you not? Are you? I hope you're not paying someone for this. Thank you, Dotter. Tap, 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 tap. Thank you very much. That's what I like to say. See, excuse me. I'm good, mate. I'm good. Good crowd in here today. Really good crowd. The crosshairs is better to understand. DJ Manny, you owe me 75,000 likes. No, subscribers. Yeah, that's better. Likes are rubbish. No, I think they do work. I do think they work. Why would you take out a second mortgage for a tutorial and I'm not getting paid for it? This is interesting. There you go. There you go. Just simply share and, share if you care, subscribe and follow if you're not following. So the crosshairs. Let's not forget. So now all we have to do is establish that this is the opening of the mouth. Where do we add the lip and the Cupid's bow? And as you can see, I think this helps a lot if you want to draw. Excuse me, that line is a little bit off here. I think that helps a lot if you want to learn how to draw mouths that are open. And then you can add your detail like so. Flowers. Agnes, you want to laugh at me, don't you? I've never drawn flowers. Maybe I should. If you can bring 75,000 people to my live stream, then I'll draw flowers. 100%. How dare you ask for cars without consulting me first? Thank you, Arsenal. You need to share now. Are you subscribed to me? If you are not subscribed to me, Kim, get rid of them. Every time, put them on our blacklist. Get rid of them. See, so that is how you could. I'm not saying it's the only way, but as you can see, I think this is quite a good way. So if you have now started drawing mouths, all right? Draw this type of shape. If this tells us where the center of the mouth is, this tells us where the corner of the mouth is, or the corners of the mouth is. And then these are pretty cool guidelines that we just have to work and mold the mouth around. And I'm actually quite starving, actually. I know I'll keep hiring Hitman. He's terrible. That's why I haven't got any followers. I keep getting rid of my followers when they don't subscribe to me. Oh no, the ones that don't follow me, I always just get them. Oh, I'm starving, mate. I'm actually starving. So I think that's a good way. Is everyone in agreement that that is a pretty good way to draw mouths? Yeah. I'm going to check you out, Agnes. Flowers. I've never drawn flower. No, have I? No, frogs. Flowers. Oh, flowers are difficult. I'll probably pass out. Especially those complicated ones with like 1,000 petals and stuff. I'll probably just sit there. I draw things that I can break down. And flowers. I bet you've got 5 degrees in fine art and stuff. She's trying to expose her brother. Anyway, yeah. This is great. Thank you. Oh, good. Not a problem. Oh, can you hear my belly? It's just whoa, whoa. Oh, gee whiz. That is really bad. Can you hear it? It's early. It's 9 o'clock, isn't it? Yeah, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. Cartoon version of flowers. Brilliant. There you go. I could draw a flower, actually. I'm sure I could. Oh, sugar. So, good. Did everyone experiment with that? Right? Obviously, these lines are just really, really basic, right? And I'm not putting hours and investing hours into it. But you can see as a construction line, see, I might vary that slightly. Like here, I'm going to vary it. But as you can see, as a construction line, it gives us an understanding of where everything belongs. I think that's pretty good. Kim, I've got a world exclusive, mate. You ready, mate? I've got a world exclusive. Oh, and I've got a rumbly tummy as well. My stomach is going mad. Live streamer dies of starvation during live stream. Yeah. When you draw the chin, well, then you have to think about the separation here. That's all I'm going to say on the chin. Just think about shading it under the lip. Just that separate. I think more about the shading under here than I do about drawing lines. Yes, I will talk about that now. Wait, is Kim still here? I think I've got a world exclusive here, mate. I think I've got one. And I'm gonna test it out on you guys. So if you're interested, you know, like I've got my Artwalker back drawing. I think I've got my Artwalker lip drawing technique. I think I've got one. Do you want to see it? Because you know I've got my Artwalker, right? So this is my way of drawing backs. So I think I've got a one. I think I've got one for drawing lips, actually. I don't know. I'm gonna throw it out there now. I'm gonna throw it out there now. Good stuff. So look at this, everyone. This is up for you. This is for you guys to tell me if this is worth your time or not, right? So I'm going to draw. Let me think. What's that? What is that? Yeah. Right, so we've got a bow and arrow. A bow and arrow, right? So look at this. This tells me where the center of the mouth is. And here I can align the bottom lip. Drop the pen. Look at that. Don't worry, don't worry. It's just me. Look at that, mate. That is. Look at that, mate. The Artwalker bow and arrow lip drawing technique. Look at that. And then, the more extreme you bend that bow, the more distorted the mouth becomes. That is just off the chart, mate. What can I say? Look at that. Mazzy, I'm going home, mate. I'm done. I'm finished. Look at that. Literally. That is bloody... that is really nice. The bow and arrow. Bow and arrow first. How you doing, Mazzy? How you doing? Manny, you see, you were here to witness that. You were here to witness that. That is, I'm thinking now. Right, so let's do it another way. Let's do it another way. So we are going bow and arrow. Bow, arrow, lip. Unbelievable. That's it. Done. I don't even have to think about it now. That is quite, I think that's quite wicked actually. Bow and arrow. Done. You can even do it from different angles. You can literally, you just have to draw the bow from a different angle, the arrow, and now you've got a mouth from the side. Can't believe it. And my stomach's really rumbling. So this is the bow, and the arrow would be here. What can I say? I'm done. I'm finished. It's even better than this one. It's even better than this one. We got our bow, curl in the corners. Then we got our arrow in the middle. So then we just add our lips. Now we've got the Artwalker bow and arrow lip drawing technique. And it's also giving us the line for the lower lip. Done. Unreal. What can I say? If I do say so myself. Oh, you're not following my tutorial? Well, you should be, because you're missing out. Oh man, I'm actually starving. I'm starving. Can someone test that for me? Can someone please test that for me? Because that can never be denied. Bow and arrow. Artwalker, mate. You saw it here first. What's today's date? 24th. Even though it's on the video. 10th. 25. So I've got my back drawing technique. The Artwalker back drawing technique that can never be taken away from me. And I've now got my own lip drawing technique. And if you do use it, please let me see it. What's my clue? Just follow me. Yeah, follow me, mate. I'll get you back into it. I'll get you back into it. I'm not sure. Not sure. You could be right. How you doing, kitten? Can you see my drawings? These ones. Or you can check my feed. You can actually look at my feed. I drew this today if you want to see something else. I drew this young lady today. What else have I got? What else? Well, this is a tutorial that I drew the other day. Practice tutorial. That was on the 6th. I haven't got... Oh, yeah, I've got this one. So these are my drawings. Oh, is it your birthday? I didn't know that. Turbulences. Happy birthday. No, I'm not going to explain it again because this is nearly an hour now, but you can watch the rest on my YouTube because I think we've covered pretty much everything. Pretty much everything. I will take a photograph of this and I'll post this on my TikTok. And then what you can do is look at this. Like here, I'm going to use my bow and arrow technique. Oh, oops, I've gone a bit here. I should have gone here. So I'm going to go bow and arrow. And then you're firing on all cylinders. Arrow. I'm going to correct that now. And then I've got my bow. We can't see the bow on the other side. There you go. So, thank you. Any last questions? We've got the last 3 minutes and then I need to go. So, last 3 minutes on lip drawing, the Artwalker way. There's only one way. And that was my birthday gift to you, Turbulences. Lip drawing today. That was for you. Yeah, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube. Yeah, well, I'm not going to do any more today, mate. To be honest, I think we've covered quite a lot. We can do some more. I didn't touch on the shading. We didn't touch on the teeth. But then it becomes far too much, mate. It becomes a really long session for me. And I've got work. I've got to go to work, actually. So I can't be burning myself out for the likes. And, you know, it's a little bit too much. But what we can do is if we do another one, I can go in a bit more depth. Sorry, Akainu. Yeah, I'm not going to touch that now. I've done enough today. This is 2 hours live streaming, and I think that's enough. I have to know where to draw the line, or I'm going to be here all day, and then I'm going to be stressing out later on because I'm not prepared for the real world. If you understand what I mean. Oopsie. Good. So do some of the research on the things that you want to learn yourself. And we will catch up very, very soon. And then I might, as I say, do a part 2 where we go into the thickness of the lip, the inside of the mouth and the teeth. Because these are quite huge subjects. It's not pick it up in 5-minute tutorial stuff. You're going to have to invest time into learning what the shape of teeth are. The jaw, you have to understand the shape of the jaw and so on. Good. I wish you all a lovely day. Thank you to all that have taken the time to watch. Thank you to those that have taken the time to subscribe to my YouTube and follow me on TikTok. Much appreciated. The bow and arrow opened a lot. My pleasure, mate. So I wish you all a lovely day and hope to see you all on the other side. Take care. Bye-bye.